What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car, Steel, and Aluminum, Draco Springs, RK Motorsports Consulting, and Earl Ramey Racing Engines. What's up, guys? I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up, y'all?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It was Bristol, baby.
Yes, sir. That was amazing. How about it? And the cool thing was, for everybody that didn't know, kind of a last-minute thing for us. Wednesday, we talked with our buddies kind of up there, Mr. Randy Keene, and told us, kind of worked out for us to come on up there. So worked out we could get off work and head up there. So we left Wednesday, kind of a last-minute thing, and took off. So glad we was able to go, man. That was hopefully they continue to do that, but that was couldn't get much better.
Well, it was I was just sitting in the house. I wasn't. I'd already kind of got in my head. I had thought about going, and I wasn't going, and some things had kind of where I was gonna stay kind of fell through. Blah, blah. It was just like, well, it ain't working out. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'll watch it. I had already ordered it on Race XR. And so I was like, well, I'll just watch it here at the house and see what's going on. About time Sterling calls me. And he's like, man, we finishing up some stuff at work. I think we can get out of here and we can go to Bristol. I was like, well, let's go.
Yeah, it was perfect, man. It worked out good. Yes, we get up there, and Thursday we get to the racetrack, and it's raining.
Well, hold on 1 minute. Go back real fast. Wednesday night, because we left late, Wednesday night we were on the way up there, and it started raining, and then it got so foggy. Man, we couldn't see the end of the hood of the truck.
Yeah, we was going through the mountains there in North Carolina, and it was terrible. I mean, literally terrible. You couldn't see anything. So
we run about 25 down the interstate.
I don't understand. And there was one dude in front of us. He never slowed down. I don't know how. He might have fell off the side of the mountain. I don't know. But we come across we come over the hill there and turned to the right, and he was gone completely. I don't know where he went.
I don't know where he is. I'm sorry if he fell off. We couldn't see you. I don't know. I'm hoping he made it.
I hope.
But yeah, like Sterling said, got up Thursday morning, and it was still raining. And I guess the track wasn't liking that much water.
Yeah, it was supposed to clear up, and it did. It cleared up in the afternoon a little bit, and it started back. But there at one point during the middle of the day, it was pretty nice, and we was all thinking, man, let's get this thing worked in, and so we can get some cars out there. But it was too much. It really was. It was a lot of rain, but it worked out good though. We were able to hang out with some buddies, and Earl Ramey and Derek McGrew and Derek McGrew Jr. and man, a pile of them was over there.
There were so many people over there. I don't know. Jeremy Steele was over there. We was all hanging out. They broke out the cornhole boards and the new game. I don't even know what it's called. I guess
Earl was calling it cornhole poker, so I don't know.
Cornhole poker. We'll go with that.
It's a pretty cool game though.
Is basically, I don't know if y'all seen it. If you haven't, because we hadn't seen it up till this point, is you use the cornhole bags, but you need 5 of them per side. And then it had these slots in it. The board stood kind of more upright, and it had slots in it, ace, king, queen, jack, and 10. And you tried to make a hand out of poker, and it had one board sitting up, kind of up top, a 2x4 sitting out there. And if you made it on that, it was a wild card. So they made a day out of it there. From what I understand, we left because we were tired from riding half the night before and stuff, and getting checked in the hotel. So we went back to the hotel. But from what I understand, they kept on playing and eventually started playing for some money over there.
Yeah, it started back raining. They took it in the big old tent that they had down here in Bristol and played for some money. So yeah, they had a good old time. But it was good. It was good to hang out with them and get to meet some people and build some relationships, man.
For sure. Well, Friday. I'm so mixed up on my days. Friday, we got up. Weather was nice. Looked good. Looked a little cloudy, but it looked good. So we start making our way, getting a few things, and making our way to the track. for some racing that day. And man, we got some good racing to talk about. But before we get into that, we got a phone call we need to take. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a real special treat on the phone this week. First of all, I want to introduce the man that is the proud new owner of Wings Etc. in Gaffney, South Carolina, Mr. Mackie Flood. Mackie, what's going on with you today, man?
Hey, man, just sitting in Indianapolis, Indiana, up here at corporate training and watching them do construction out my window downtown here.
Well, that's got to be awful fun.
Oh, man. I hate city living.
Oh, I could definitely understand that. Well, also, another big reason why we got you on here today, another huge treat for us. Man, it's going to be driving the Wings Etc. ride this weekend at Cherokee. Mr. Scott Bloomquist. Scott, what is going on, man? We are so thankful and grateful to have you on the line with us today.
No, just having just a day of getting things prepared and working towards the weekend. Yeah, we're looking forward to coming over there this weekend. You know, I've heard the purse, they've got it up pretty high, and you know, I guess tell everybody somebody's going to leave there with $40,000, and that just shouldn't be me. So let's get it together, you know.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Well, going back to Mackie real quick here. Mackie, you tell us about your new venture there with Wings Etc.
Well, my wife and I, Heidi, we looked into this, I guess, career move about a year ago, right before COVID hit. And the restaurant was up for sale, and, you know, not knowing what tomorrow was going to bring with an unknown, you know, disease that was getting ready to take over the world, we decided not to purchase the restaurant. Well, it's been sitting vacant since last April. And, you know, the corporate called, and we were already franchise approved, and they made us a deal that we couldn't refuse. And about a month ago, was when they contacted, and here we are now going through the corporate training, and we start next week. And we open up the second week in May, and everything's happened so fast, it's kind of mind-boggling. But we look forward to it. We look forward to serving the people there in Gaffney and opening back up and making it a great place to enjoy and bring the family to eat and watch racing and watch sports.
That's right, man. That's what this world needs. Just fun places to go, good places to hang out.
Yep, get some good wings. That's important. It's hard to find good wings anymore anyway.
We got the best in the country.
Sweet.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Well, and not only that, you know, hanging out with Scott, he makes a mean chicken sandwich. So you never know when you come in on the menu, you might have a Bloomquist chicken sandwich.
There we go.
That's what we need right now. Well, cool. Well,
You'll
Scott,
you'll have to go to training on that one, Mackie.
Mackie, you're going to have to get a good recipe on that one. That's all I have to tell you.
Oh, well, hey, he puts the touch on it, so it's be hard to duplicate it.
Well, cool deal. Well, Scott, we know you got this March Madness deal going on. You've had, obviously, along with Dryden on the car, you've had Go Lithium, you've had Hot Rod Septic, and now going to have Wings Etc. Tell us a little bit about that deal.
Well, you know, we had our deal with Dryden last year for a majority of the races all season, and then this year, Cody Summer, he's partner of mine, and he's worked on a lot of other things that for the races that they didn't really require, or you know, they really were more focused on the World of Outlaws series, and so that left a number of races open for us to market and possibly work with some other people. It's turned out to be a really good thing for us and for the people. I know the Hot Rod Septic, you know, they got involved with us. They were on our car at Bristol, and they said that the phone's been ringing off the wall today. So, you know, it's exciting, and I think that we really can get involved in marketing a lot of people. You know, just we'll work it base it on the race by race deal, and you know, it's nice to have exciting people. You know, like Mackie. I mean, he's going to be just the electricity and new people around you at different racetracks makes it a lot of fun.
It sure does, man. It really does. I got a question for you though. Who is it you that comes up with these designs on these cars? Because I'm gonna tell you what, every one of these designs that I've seen with the obviously with Dryden, with Go Lithium, with Hot Rod Septic, and now Wings, etc. Man, those are some awesome designs on those cars. It pops and looks awesome.
You know, I think you could probably put, you know, shit brown on the side of that zero, and the zero
There it
design
is.
just like that was come up with a long time ago.
Yes,
I think
sir.
it just pops, and it really is fun because you can do so many different things with the number, and just like we did with the SB and it this last weekend, it's endless what we can do with it. But it's actually what I enjoy probably as much as racing is art. I've designed and come up with a lot of logos. Even the first 30 dozen logo I designed, and that's probably one of the things that most people may not know about me is I love art and I love drawing, and I really do enjoy different looks on these cars. It's fun, it's exciting, it's challenging, and you know I think the fans obviously this weekend at Bristol they sold out of everything that had hot rod septic on it. So it was exciting for us too.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. That's awesome, and it did look good, and everything I seen looked good on it, and all these cars look good, man. And but going back to Bristol, there, man, you had a pretty good weekend. Give us a little rundown of how the car felt and what you thought about the track and the whole weekend in general.
You know, really, all in all, I think we had a successful weekend, and you know, it felt like we had a shot at winning the race on Saturday. You know, Ferguson was really good. You know, Friday, I don't think anybody was going to touch him, but you know, Saturday we picked it up a little bit, and you know, just need to work a little bit on the engine camshaft combination and things that before we go back next time. But you know, I'm looking forward to going back there when we go back for the Outlaw race. But yeah, no, Bristol it's always exciting. Anytime you go that fast, you're holding on, and you know, guys have to respect the other drivers. It's pretty intense. You know, and what's really bizarre is like I was in the third heat race, and I know there's 2 heat races before me, and you think how big this place is. You got some time, but you're running 15, 16 seconds at the slowest is 16 seconds, and all of a sudden it's time to go. You know, because I mean, 8-lap heat races, 15 seconds a lap, boom. You know, so you normally at a track that's that big, you know, you're in the 19, 20 plus second racetrack, but that place is just done real fast. And I've always told people that I've never been at a track that you go too fast. I love going fast. I kind of cut my teeth on a 5/8 mile track in Chula Vista, California, and it really always have enjoyed the big racetracks. So I look forward to going back.
That's awesome, and like I said, that car looked great out there. Well, that's cool. Well, going back just a little bit, Mackie, how did you and Scott's friendship start? 'Cause I know y'all are buddies, and give us a little rundown on that.
Well, you know, it started out, he and I just conversation, you know, where I was working for a friend of mine, and we built, you know, some parts and steel parts, and it kind of started there. And then, you know, just seeing each other out in public every now and then at a racetrack, and it kind of evolved from there. And, you know, just then I started going down. My wife and I would go down during COVID and hang out with Scott. We'd fish because there was nothing else to do. You couldn't go anywhere. Everything was closed. So then we even got closer during COVID because, like I said, Heidi and I would go down and help on the race cars. And, you know, we weren't racing, so we were able to do a lot of sitting around and playing cornhole and fishing at night and fishing in the day. And, you know, believe it or not, over that time, all of us became great friends over that time because we spent so much time together. There was nothing else to do. So, and that's why I was, you know, earlier before we started, you know, I was telling you, you know, a lot of the fun times has been sitting there just listening to him tell stories. Or you asked about it, design work. He would say, Mackie, you know, I did this and I came up with this, but there's a reason behind everything Scott Bloomquist tells you. If he tells you, that the street is flat because of this reasoning, there's a reason why it's that way. He's got a reason behind it. Or what I like is he's got a young kid there now working with him, Charlie Chris. He is one of the best kids around. And Scott takes the time with him, shows him, this is why the race card does this. This is why I'm telling you to do this. He's also a teacher, and a lot of people don't know that about Scott, that he cares about teaching somebody. He will bend over backwards to help somebody understand, why things work, how it works. And he'll sit there with you for hours, and you'll understand it when you're done. As I told y'all before, he'll tell a story, and at the end, you're going to realize, why didn't the hell did I think about that? Because he's right.
That's right.
But, that's our friendship in a nutshell. It's just like my wife's name is Heidi. He calls her Linda. We'll go places.
Yeah, no, you don't have to go there now.
Yeah, we'll go places. But we'll go places, he'll say, hey, Linda. Everybody looks like they're drunk. Like, what in the world is he talking about? Yeah, her name's Heidi. So it's just funny because it's our inside little joke thing, and everybody looks around like, who the hell is Linda?
That's great.
Oh, that's perfect.
I mean, it's fun stuff like that nobody ever sees the side of Scott that just makes him special. So I'm proud to call him a friend.
That's awesome, man. And I can vouch even for the teaching part you were just talking about. Just like with the young man who won a raffle on the car, Brody Littleton. We've been fortunate enough to have him on the show, and we've talked to him quite a few times, and he tells me all the time about how much Scott tells him, and just teaching him along the way. So that's really cool. And you think he's gonna come up to be a good driver, Scott?
I mean, I really believe he's got as good a chance as probably a better chance than anyone's ever had with the car that he's got now and the help I'll give him. And again, what you both are saying about, I do enjoy helping people that appreciate it. Sometimes later you learn that they didn't appreciate it as much as you thought, but you still keep on getting with it. But there's so many things that have to do with racing that are common sense stuff, and people that don't really know, when you get done really showing and explaining it to them, they actually might feel a little bit dumb that they didn't know, because it makes so much sense that it's hard to imagine you didn't know it already. And so sometimes you don't get appreciated too much because they think they thought of it themselves after you get done, because there's no way they couldn't have known it.
And you know what? That makes sense now.
It does. Perfect sense.
But I'm going to tell you this, though. He's going to tell you once. If you don't remember it, you'll know about it.
You better write it down.
Yeah. That's what I tell people. That's what I say to people. Anytime I get into explaining something, I said, all right, you either need to have a short pencil or a damn good memory, because don't ask me again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was pretty clean.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
None of us have time to explain the same thing, multiple times, I don't think.
No, not at a racetrack
Unless
anymore.
you have children, I guess with kids you get used to that. But I mean, overall, if you're old enough to race a car for a living, you need to know how to listen.
Yeah,
that's it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of children, Scott, I know you've talked about even before. Your daughter Ariel want to be a lady driver. Is that still something she wants to do?
Well, I hear about it more than I want to. I've told her a number of times. I'm like, honey, you really don't want a life sentence.
Yeah.
And she'll look at me funny, and I say, you just don't realize, it's way more work. And I tell her, until you come to the shop and learn how to do everything in the shop, we're not even going to talk about you racing a car. You need to, and that's something I've always preached to drivers that have come along and that we've helped over the years, is you need to educate yourself on every aspect of the sport. You need to be able to do all the tire work. You need to be able to know how to do. You shouldn't end up having to hire someone that can do something you can't, because that means that person leaves you, you're in trouble. You need to be able to fill in the gaps, just like Mackie's up there learning how to cook everything on the menu. I mean, that's part of it. And it's like, if you can't cook everything on the menu, you don't need to open the store.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That is a perfect example right there. And I try to tell my kids the same thing. So that's awesome to hear. All right. Well, moving on to, like we talked about earlier, the race this weekend, 35,000 to win on Saturday night at Cherokee Speedway. Scott, what you think about it?
I think it's great. I mean, it's something that I think, it's like this weekend at Bristol, the purse and what it paid and the other races that they're going to have that tie into that race. They're having two more this year, and he's planning on putting on a few more with it next year. He's going to do at the NASCAR track. They've got a dirt track there in Texas, and his next race will be in Texas, Texas Motor Speedway, and it'll be 10 to win Friday, 50 to win Saturday, like it was at Bristol. And then after that one is going to be Vegas in November, and it's going to be the same thing, 10 and 50. But the exciting part is, if you were at the first two, he's calling the last one his double down race, which means if you were at the first two, wherever you finish pays double. So now
Sweet.
the 50 to win becomes 100 to win. And
Wow.
so that's exciting. And I think with the Outlaws coming in next month, and their purse is up now. I think, I don't know if he had anything to do with that, but with anytime there gets to be more competition, and really it's getting to be that way in our sport. There's a lot of people wanting to have races, and there's not enough weekends or enough race cars to really go around. So, they're having to up the money, and that's good for everybody. I wish it was, not that I'm going anywhere soon, but it would have been nice when I was in my 20s or 30s, to see what I see coming now, and to see Gaffney putting that kind of money up. That's exciting. I mean, that's worth getting your pulse up for, and it's worth putting the extra energy and effort for preparation to get ready for the weekend. It's just definitely, I see a big change coming in the sport, especially with the podcast stuff or the subscription stuff that people can watch it live. That helps pay the purse, and I think the purses are going to keep going up, and it's going to make it really good for the up and coming drivers.
That's awesome. And going off of that real quick, do you think that the dirt racing is kind of at the point of, say, like NASCAR was maybe in like the 70s, when all of a sudden the popularity started showing up and the money started rolling in? Do you think that dirt late model racing is kind of taking that turn right now?
It's funny. Yes, absolutely. It was probably 15 or 20 years ago. I've said a number of things to people about that. Everything makes a full circle in life, and that NASCAR started on dirt. I said, don't be surprised if it ends up on dirt. And there'd be nothing more exciting than to have all those guys have to race against us every weekend, and even have maybe a challenge series between them. So yeah, I think that it's actually, I've not had much interest in turning on any of their races. I haven't watched one of them this year, but I want to watch this weekend. So
Right.
that's saying something in itself.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Here's what I think a lot of the difference is as far as from dirt to asphalt. I've done both from the Hooters Pro Cup Series back in the day with Troy Beard and those guys, and with Jason Sarvis from over y'all's way, driving for him, and Clayton Rogers and those guys. Here's what I see as far as now being involved with the dirt side, from the go-karts now with the super stuff. Driver availability. The fans can walk through the pits. They can go up to the drivers. They can look at their cars. They can shake their hands. Being around Scott as much as I had now at the racetracks, I have never seen him turn a fan down to sign something, take a picture. I've been to Darlington. I've been to Charlotte, Bristol for the Cup races. You can't get close to the drivers as a fan. Now, I had a little more access because I knew some of the people. But you look at these kids wanting to see, just say Kyle Busch. You know, they don't take up the time with them, what I've seen the dirt drivers do. You know, from Chris Ferguson, you know, he does the same thing as Scott. They make themselves accessible to the fans, and that's what the fans want. They want to have that relationship with their favorite driver at a dirt track, be it on a Saturday night race or, you know, on the touring series level. And that's where I think the two from asphalt to dirt differ.
Yeah, I completely
100%.
agree. Yeah, completely. And even my little boy is 5 years old, and we get to take him to the dirt track. He loves it. And I mean, you know, to me, that gets the younger generation into racing in general, period. But, you know, I ask him where he wants to go to race, and he's wanting to go to Cherokee this weekend. So, you know, it's just simple things like that grab their attention. And for somebody like Scott to come up and take him and shake his hand or give him a high five, I mean, that goes a long way for little kids.
Yeah.
And like you say, that's 100% I agree with that, and we've talked about that. And, you know, just like this past weekend, you know, it was kind of funny, and we honest here. At Bristol, you had to have a certain wristband to be able to go into where Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott and them were. They kind of separated themselves away from everybody else, and I'm like, they're no different than nobody. And I just, you know,
wow,
I don't want that to end up coming into the dirt world and ruin it, essentially. I hope that doesn't happen.
I can tell you something here. I've heard from a lot of people this weekend in Bristol that, you know, they're just not willing to sign autographs, and not, you know, which, you know, it just takes, first impression is you get one chance for that. And
That's right.
A good example, I can just give a short one, is I've got a guy that's become a customer, and he's a young man, and his name's Manny Falcon. And when he was 5 years old, he came to, his dad brought him to a race, and he went by and asked another top driver for an autograph, and he didn't have time for him. And I had my car on my lift gate, and it was halfway up the ramp to go into the top. And when he come up, and I saw a long face, and he was wanting a picture with me by my race car. And I told my guys to lower the lift gate, and they brought the car back down and took a photo with him, and he's got that photo still today and shows people. And he said that, you know, he's actually got one of my cars now, you know, because he'll never forget it. And, you know, that first impression, or just that one person that you deny, you know, he could come back and be my biggest sponsor one day. You never know, but I know he's got one of my cars, and I really enjoyed his friendship. And he's old enough now that we have a good time as adults.
Yeah. Well, it's just like I was just saying. You know, when I'm at the racetrack, I normally try to help Scott with the tires, back there holding the tire while he's busting or whatever. And fans will come up in between the trailers, and the horns are blowing, 5-minute horn, 10-minute horn, and Scott's signing autographs. And I'll look at the fan and say, "Can you just give us a few minutes? We got to finish this, and we don't have but 3 tires." And
right. I like pushing that call enough. It don't bother me much.
or gotta look at me and say, "Well, that was rude." I'm like, "Hell, man, we got to get on the racetrack. We got
to go. Everyone's yelling, "We got to go. We got to go." I'm like, "We got 3 minutes. Relax."
Yeah, I'm signing shit.
Yeah,
Scott said, "I've been on this track before. I don't need it."
Well, and that's what I was going to. I mean, he doesn't turn people down, and most of the dirt drivers now don't turn their fans down. They know what got them where they are, you know, as far as popularity. Not as far as on the racetrack. That's done at the race shop. But the popularity is at the racetrack with the performance on the racetrack as well as off the racetrack with your fans.
Preach it, brother.
I think the dirt racers provide that to their fans.
Well, you're exactly right, and I think that's where it's going. I mean, it's no fun. I know, Scott, you probably wouldn't enjoy it if you was out there racing when there wasn't a single soul in the stands to watch you. That wouldn't be fun. And like you said, I mean, a lot of people's turned away from the NASCAR world because it's not fun, and you can't personalize yourself with a driver anymore, really. And I think they're digging their own hole. But long and short of it, I love the way it's going. I hope that never changes. I hope the personable aspect never changes with the dirt world, because that's where it's. I think that's where it's at, and we all see it.
Well,
Yeah,
I hope
there's timing is a lot of it, and there's been times where someone might have come up to me when I had 1 minute left, and I just tell them to please come back after the race. I've got to go. Be glad to stay here all night. Just come on back, and that it's again, that is what makes our sport special, I think, and I hope all the other drivers treat all the fans that way that drive on dirt, and that needs to be something that everyone prides themselves on. Again, it's hard to ever make a second first impression.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to get to Cherokee this weekend, watch Scott get out there and hopefully take home all that big money. That's going to be a fun race, and put that Wings Etc. Team Zero car in Victory Lane.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Wings Etc. in Gaffney, that's going to be exciting. I plan on coming over there quite often and hanging out, and I hope all the race fans support Mackie and Heidi on this venture. I'd never eaten at one before, and he took me to the one in Spartanburg, and awesome food, and he's going to cater to the race fan and the racer, and I think it'll be a really good environment. We'll be sure he's got some of our stuff in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we want to be able to show the pay-per-views at the store of the dirt racing via, if it's wing stuff or late models. We want to be able to provide that to the fans on a weekly basis. But also, we can't forget, on the card this weekend, it's not only Gaffney, but Bowling Springs location, as Scott mentioned, is a partner friend of mine, Scott McFalls. He was also very inspirational in putting this deal together along with me to be able to get on the card for this weekend and some other races to come to be announced later on.
Perfect. And I'm just saying, I think I already told you this, Mackie, in a message one time, but I'm just saying, our podcast, Chicken Bone Alley, and Wings Etc., that just kind of goes hand in hand.
It does.
Chicken Bone Alley.
Hey, and believe it or not.
Is that where you throw all the bones out back, Mackie?
Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I was when I told Scott about this podcast, I said, man, like they told me, it kind of goes together. I said, we can be selling chicken wings, and this is Chicken Bone Alley. He said, well, hell, then if we're doing that, let's do it.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool, guys. Well, I'm going to tell y'all what, we can't wait to get up to Cherokee this weekend and hang out, and we will definitely be stopping by the trailer over there to come say hey.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, don't forget to go by and see Gary at the Team Zero Bloomquist trailer, merchandise trailer. They can have all the Wings Etc. T-shirts along with all the other Team Zero and Bloomquist stuff that Arizona Sports Tees has to offer.
Yeah, they at Bristol, I know there was a lot of fans there that they ended up selling out of so much stuff that he said he's been just reprinting this week. Just their madhouse up there. So he's trying to get everything reprinted and bring it all. And we've got our new, obviously, Wings Etc. shirt going to be there this weekend. So everybody come by and check it out.
Perfect. We'll definitely be by there to pick us up one. So thank y'all so much for coming on here and dealing with us through the technical difficulties we had at the first of it. We can't thank y'all enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we appreciate it, guys. I look forward to seeing y'all this weekend, and you might have to come down to Victory Lane with us.
We will be there.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Boy.
How about that?
How about Scott Bloomquist here on Chicken Bone Alley? 57 episodes ago, I'd have never thought that would happen.
No, I definitely didn't either. And man, all I can say is thank them so much for taking the time to come on with us and hang out some. And it's really cool to be able to talk to him. And you know, a lot of people were intimidated by Scott and stuff. Even seen him at the racetrack and talking, but he's a really, really good down to earth dude. And you know, he's just part of the show. He's a part-time co-host too, I believe.
Yeah, we'll make him one. That'll be fine. Oh, that was so cool. I'm so grateful to them guys. And what y'all don't know is we had some technical difficulties trying to get him on there. But, yeah, fun. Well, they hung out with us for a lot longer than what we originally expected. So thank them so much. Scott, Mackie, thank both of y'all so much again. So anyway, following what Scott had to say there, it was Bristol. It was I guess it was somewhat of. I'll go back in some other classes that we were able to watch and see out there, but we mostly watched the super late models while we were there because it just, I don't know, it kind of felt like that. There was modifieds there. We watched the modifieds, got to walk around, do all kind of stuff. We were hoping to watch some more on Thursday. Unfortunately, like I said, rain come in and we couldn't watch anything. Other than, you know, as far as like the super late model races, it was Bristol. It reminded me, even though, you know, there was dirt on it, it was still Bristol. There was guys wrecking for no reason out there.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you what. Like Scott said, that place is fast, and stuff happens really quick. Kind of like you said, you running so fast around there. I mean, things happen the way they are. You don't really know. I don't know, man. It's like 1 second you looking, you got one guy over here and one that's running fine and whatever, and then before you know it, he's flipping and coming out of four.
Well,
like,
that's what I was
Lord.
fixing to say. We were standing there in the infield and kind of watching practice and stuff, and actually over there hanging out with G.R. Smith and them, and we're kind of looking one way, and you're looking one way, and all of a sudden I look up, and there's a car flipping about 4 times right out of 4 right in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot watch all that from inside.
No, I mean,
from in the infield. It's just going on everywhere, and but you know, luckily he was okay, and there was quite a few other bad wrecks while we were there that we saw everybody walk away from, so that was good. But you know, they did an awesome job on the track from what I could see.
They really did. A lot of work on it, but they made it work.
Yeah, they kept working it. They didn't let it. Friday they didn't let it slick off that much. They kind of kept it where they could work on it, where it didn't get too far gone or whatever, I guess. But start with, when they first got out there, 3 and 4, well, it was tearing up pretty good, and there was getting some pretty big ruts in it. And I guess that particular guy, I don't recall his name, but I guess he got in one of those ruts, and it just threw him up out of there.
Whew.
They had mounds set up or built up on the bottom.
Dirtles.
The dirtles, yeah. So they didn't run on an apron because naturally the apron was a little bit faster earlier.
Which
in the
is
week.
surprising to me. I don't understand that.
I don't either. But so they put them down and made a move up, and the supers you could tell they could keep momentum up a lot better around the top, and they could pretty much run wherever. But like you say, the facility just being there, being inside, is so huge. It looks so much bigger than a half-mile racetrack, for sure.
Definitely.
And they are flying around there. 15, 16-second laps is insane.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but we were watching the supers, obviously, and then all of a sudden there's a I can't remember if it was 602 or 604. There was a crate late model class came out there, and man, crate late models are not slow by any means. They are not. But I guess that track is so big compared to the supers, it looked like they were barely moving around there.
I'm telling you, them supers were flying. And, you know, there was a lot of, well, they're pretty much wide open about the whole time, I assume. And,
Oh, yeah.
there was a lot of engine failures throughout the week that we saw, and talking with Earl Ramey. He had a lot of work to do. But I think in the first set of hot laps, there was a motor blow in the supers, and every single group of supers that went out, there was a car that blew. So,
and there was one of them that blew like I ain't ever seen one blow before.
Yeah, he looked like old choo-choo train, but he was
Dude,
it was
looked like
bad.
Looked like the one at Dollywood going through the mountains, where all of a sudden
Yeah.
the smoke just goes rolling. You can't even see through it. I was like, ugh, what happened there? It was in one spot too, right in turn 3.
Yep.
Just boom.
Yeah, that thing blew. So, I don't know. You know, that's one thing we didn't talk with Scott about, but you know, I'm sure you had to have a pretty good piece and to be able to hold up for that much hanging RPM, and I'm sure that's a lot of wear and tear on the motor for sure for that race or for that weekend. But man, I tell you what, they put on a great show.
I did.
I think they put on a better show than a lot of people kind of thought they would. I know they did a lot better than I thought, but you could pass. You could.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked really good. It really did, especially later Friday and even Saturday. The track looked great, and you know, talking about Scott, from what we could see, that car was hooked up. I mean, he looked like he was on a rail.
He could turn around the bottom, honestly, better than anybody I saw. And he said there, thought his motor combination they had that week wasn't exactly right for it. But the car, as far as car-wise, man, that thing was on a rail.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know they learned a little bit, and be ready to go back there in a few weeks for the World of Outlaw race that's going to be there. And another thing that you know that we noticed while we were there was a lot of tire game, especially on the right front, and I don't know if that really. I don't know. I know when we saw Chris win Friday night, which was awesome, by the way. His right front the inside of his right front was shredded looking.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of pressure probably on that right front.
Yeah, and that's so different than most of the tracks that they run, and I guess that's why it's different. I mean, most of the tracks don't have that type of banking in it, and they drive obviously off the right rear most of the time. It's always been a right rear game, you know, and all of a sudden when you put that much, I think another thing is downforce. Them cars, the way they're made, they put those cars in the wind tunnel. I mean, you know, people might say, "Oh, they're old dirt car," or whatever. No, there's a lot more engineering and aerodynamics than a lot of people think. But they've made it so they're still able to drive behind somebody and pass somebody. So, but they've made the most front downforce that they can make. And sometimes I think, like on a track like that, you're probably putting a lot of pressure on that right front.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, the downforce was insane. I'm sure running as fast as they were, and you saw most of them guys. Their rear wing was laid back.
Well, I will give a little shout out to Kevin Rumley on that, because when we first got there, first seen late models coming in, most wings wasn't laid back like that, and all of a sudden Larson comes rolling up there, and that son of a gun looks like just an extension of the decking on it because it was laid down so much.
Yeah, it was way back there.
And all of a sudden after everybody saw that and saw how fast he was running, you look at everybody's spoiler is laid back like that.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the big difference. But going back to old Chris Ferguson, our buddy, man, hats off to those guys and Team Zero race cars for that. They were fast off the get-go. You know, talking to him, he first time out there, first time he'd been at the track, first time he's been on it, period. And to come out fast out the gate like he did was awesome, and setting fast time in his group, and winning the heat.
Starting
Simple.
pole.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely his day, and they made a really good call on their setup and on the tires for the feature. 25 laps, I think it was perfect.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, so really cool to be able to see that and hang out with him in Victory Lane a little bit there and get a little interview afterwards. Really, really stand up guy, and they got a really good group there that he kind of surrounds himself with, and he believes in faith and the Lord, and that takes you a long way too, I believe, and he's all for it, which is great. I love seeing that too. So hopefully he can continue his success, and he about did on Saturday too there, man. He kind of started off the day the same way.
He really did. He again fast in his group, won his heat race, starting on pole.
Yep.
He looked like a carbon copy, and he admittedly said they made the wrong call on setup for the long run, and I had to worry about that because it was a toss up. It was like, all right, is this track gonna do this or is it gonna do this?
Well, and I really think, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but this is my thought. The night before they reworked track right before the feature,
Right.
and they didn't right before the feature on
Right.
Saturday night. So the track had already blackened up a little bit, and it looked like it had already slicked off some. So had they reworked the track right before that feature, it may have made a big difference. And maybe they were planning on that. Who knows? I don't know what they let them know and didn't. I don't know. But that could have played a part in it. But he was everybody knew he was there still. I think he finished 6th or something. So he was there for sure. But there towards the middle of the race, I thought our buddy old Scott Bloomquist had the car to beat for sure. He was strong.
He was rolling, especially when Larson and him passed Chris. All of a sudden, Scott started reeling Larson in that kind of middle section of the race, I guess you'll say. There was a couple, and it happened a couple different times. He was up under Kyle Larson to take the lead, and the caution came out.
Yeah, that kept happening. I was like, dang, come on, let this thing roll here a little bit.
And I really do think I don't know if anybody had anything to hold off Jonathan Davenport because he was just in a league of his own.
There, last half of the race, he was ridiculous.
But I think if Scott could have got around Larson, he might have been able to hold that spot. I think. I don't know. I think he fell off a little bit there at the end too. But hey, you can't complain with the top 3. Not in a race like that.
No, definitely not. Finishing 4th on Friday and a podium finish 3rd on Saturday is nothing to hold your head down about. But like you said, the car's really good. They get a couple things worked out with the horsepower there, and then he'll be ready to take home the win here in a few weeks there. But all in all, Bristol in a nutshell. One thing, if you ever go to Bristol especially a dirt race like this where you can get around, take you something with a motor and some wheels and tires.
I don't care if it's a cooler with a motor on it. I don't care. Something. Dang. And Michael
Don't take nothing battery power because
no, it ain't gonna last. It ain't gonna last. Michael Boggs, the photographer Michael Boggs, who has some of the best photos on the internet, period, of race cars. He put on. I saw him send out on Facebook the other day. If you plan on going to Bristol, you better take the most comfortable pair of walking shoes you have.
You promise you.
Oh man,
a lot of walking.
My legs are still hurting.
I think we ended up going around that 10 miles while we were there, just Friday.
Just Friday.
So, yeah, a lot of walking. Definitely a lot of walking to do. But like we said, our buddies SRI, they were there. Had 3 trailers set up out there with a pile of parts, and selling parts left and right. Every time I went by there, they were selling parts.
Yeah, it was It was crazy because there was parts going on there. They said on Tuesday night when the racing got done at 1:00, they stayed open at the parts trailer. Just it's still selling parts. They were selling parts after 1:30. Is what Randy Keene was telling us, and that's absolutely crazy. But everybody said if you needed a part, you walk in there and grab it. It ain't ask them if they got it. No, it's there.
Yeah,
they
got it.
They were restocking the whole week they were there too. I mean,
yeah,
they knew what them boys needed.
Absolutely, you cannot you can't ask for better service. To have everything in the world that you need and have it right there at the racetrack, go get it. There was a lot of people that needed some stock car steel sheet metal because they were tearing
had that
up
too.
Stuff. they were tearing up stuff left and right.
I seen doors. I seen just sheet metal. I seen aluminum over there. I seen plastic panels. All that you needed, because some of them cars they demolished in a heat race or something on Tuesday. They worked to put it back together at the track to race it again on Friday or Saturday, and they got every part that they needed from stock car steel and SRI Performance over there. They even had a Draco Spring trailer out there, but it was just filled with purple springs everywhere.
Everywhere. Like Easter time.
It did.
Yeah, that was really neat. So, absolutely cool to have them there. And old Randy Keene there was able to hang out with us and help us out a little bit, getting some good passes to get in there.
Definitely so. So we appreciate those guys. Another cool thing they did while on Saturday, Greg Fernelli came in town, hanging out at Bristol, talking to everybody. They gave away a Earl Ramey Racing crate engine, and I didn't see who won it, but I remember hearing somebody off the West Coast, but they were at the track and won it. So they going home with an Earl Ramey Racing engine.
Ain't gonna get much better than that.
Promise you. So it's cool to see all our people come together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll even give our buddy Andrew Garris a little shout out over there with Profab headers. They have one of the coolest looking setups at the track.
Oh, it was sweet.
Yeah.
They got a nice setup over there.
He's a buddy of ours, and I'd like to hang out with him. He's a cool dude.
Absolutely.
I told him he was spoiled the other day, though, because he sends picture from the track, but he's up in one of the suite boxes.
Yeah, he was definitely watching from a climate-controlled,
I'm like,
dust-free area.
What is this? No, you need to be down here freezing and getting dirty with us.
Yeah. But he definitely, they have by far got the best headers in the business.
Definitely. They got a match perfect with Earl Ramey Racing engine, crate motors, but they got any header you need for anything, any application, except for a Mustang with a small block in it, small block Chevrolet in it. I asked him about it. He said they ain't have that.
Yeah, he got that. Yeah, but yeah, it's really cool. So, so yeah, going back, kind of what we said a little bit, and I want to touch on it in a minute before we go any further. But when we got there on Friday, they got all these parking places or parking lots at Bristol. Naturally, there's plenty of them. So we pull up over there in the parking lot over there in 1 and 2, I think, on that side, on the far side.
Yeah.
Because there's a bridge, a yellow bridge, I think it was, what they call it, that you can park down there at the end, and you can walk straight into where all the pits were. Well, we parked, paid our money, parked, and went to walk down there, and they got the bridge closed. So literally, we would have to walk like completely all the way back out to the road, all the way around to come back in the racetrack. Well, we decided to pack up and move around to the front stretch side and park up, try to park up on the hill up in there. We found a spot, luckily, kind of up in the camping area.
Yeah.
Up there. Good little...
Row H.
Yep. Row G.
Row G.
If G was full, go to H.
If G's full, go to H.
That's it. But yeah, we found our way there, and it looked out for us. That was pretty good parking. It was a good little walk, but anyway, we get down there, and they got, I I think there ended up being 823 entries that was there.
Pile of 'em.
Which, I mean, from all these classes, I mean, it's unbelievable, the cars. Never seen this many cars, period, at a dirt race, by far.
No.
So they have got cars parked everywhere. They got late models parked in with sport mods and street stocks. And
Well, one thing about parking, I want to say real fast. This was the best thing I seen all weekend. We go walking, and in this one section, there was a pile of typical pickup trucks pulling tagger, maybe gooseneck trailers or something like that, fifth wheel trailer, whatever they were. You could tell most of them had either modifieds or like the street stocks or something like that in it most of the time. Right in the middle of all those was this huge, ginormous, nice stacker. Now I looked at Sterling and I said, that'd be me right there with the street stock if I had any money, you know. Picking around. Well, we keep walking. All of a sudden, we walk around the end. Guess what is part at this stacker?
that's
Street stock.
Yeah, it was perfect. I think they were just parking it there, but
I don't care. I'd have done it too.
It fit perfect. It was cool. It sure was. But yeah, man, there were so many different cars. I mean, they didn't have just a super late model area and a street stock area. They had them everywhere. But what I'm getting at is the thing that I didn't like, and we spoke about a little bit earlier. You know, as we were walking around, we were trying to find Chris Ferguson's trailer, and we found him in different ones and all that. Well, over kind of just excluded from everything, there was a small, teeny area that they could park.
Yeah.
And there was a police car sitting there. There was one way in, one way out. And there was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 trailers in there. Something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Well, in those 5 or 6 trailers were Kyle Busch's car, Chase Elliott's car, Kyle Larson's car. That was 3 of the few other ones that were there. But anyway, you had to have a VIP wristband in order to even get into that parking lot.
Yep.
This kind of goes back, and we can kind of stretch on this a touch, but kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Scott and him. That is going to kill the sport if they do that. If they separate themselves, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, completely. I did not like to see that, and I'm gonna extend on that one little bit. I will say I walked up to Kyle Larson while he was out in the on the grid in there. I would say, just guessing, Kevin Rumley and Kyle Larson did not ask to be put in there. I'd be willing to say that because at every other dirt track, they haven't been anywhere special. They've been right there in the middle of everywhere else.
Yeah, Portsmouth, they was right there beside McCready and all.
Yeah.
You know, nothing special. And, you know, we were standing right there in Portsmouth, and, you know, there was, good Lord, there was 100 people probably standing in front of his car.
Yeah.
And Kyle walks out, he signs autographs, takes pictures for probably 30 minutes.
Yep.
And then the crowd was gone, and nobody really cared anymore. Okay, it's Kyle Larson, whatever. He was walking up and down through the pits with everybody, and nobody would bother him. But I guess, and I don't know who and I don't know why, but somebody asked for that.
I ain't saying. I mean, I ain't guessing. I'm not speculating or anything like that. But, and I sent this to you on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it or not. But the gentleman that runs Speedway Car Cams, who had some excellent footage and awesome videos from this past weekend on, dude, he said he had over 60 hours of footage from this past week.
It's unreal.
And anyway, his son, so him and his sons, and there was a few boys out there with him. They worked their butts off all week. When cars go out, they jump up there and put cameras in certain cars. When they come in, they had to remember which one they was on to pull them back off. Next set of cars go out, they had cameras already on them, swapping them out constantly. Well, anyway, and they had even put one on Kyle Busch's car. At the end of the night, I say the end of the night, it was after the last super late model race, his son went over there and stood by Kyle Busch's car, just wanting him fist bump something, tell him good race or something, just, He said Kyle Busch turned his back the whole time, would not talk to anybody. As soon as he was done talking with his crew, walked out or got on the golf cart and rode out the tunnel.
Yeah, I saw that too, and even seeing them pull the cars in and out of the racetrack. Chase drove his car in and out of there. I didn't see Kyle, but I'm sure Kyle drove his car in.
I saw him.
Just like everybody else would do, but Kyle Busch sure didn't. He had somebody else driving in and out for him, and I don't know, man. He's good, and whatever, and it's good for the sport to have him there. But if he's gonna do that kind of stuff, it's not good for the sport.
No,
and I don't want that. I don't want somebody like that to come in here and ruin what dirt racing has become. And like Scott said, having a good, personable relationship with the fans and allowing them to come in and signing stuff for them and making them feel at home and whatever, that grows the sport tremendously. And it also gets this younger generation into racing and want them to be a part of racing in the future. So if they continue to allow them to come over and run or whatever, they sure don't need to allow that.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't understand the point in making anything special for everybody else. I mean, for them. This is where we got parking at. If y'all want to come, here, park there. I mean, that's
right.
The way I see it. That's the way it's always been. And I don't know. It's just the way I feel like it should be, I guess.
Yeah, definitely should. And, I like seeing the cup drivers and all come in and take their turn at trying to master dirt racing.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I like that. And it shows how they ran, shows you just how tough it is to run with these guys. And I think Kyle Larson, we've said it before, he's a freak of nature pretty much. Yeah. I mean, he can wheel pretty much about anything. And not saying they can't, but Kyle definitely, he seems to carry himself a little better. I know he's a little more distant. He's not outgoing, and you walk up to him, he's not going to run away from you. He's not going to turn from you. He'll take pictures with you and whatever. But you can tell he's a little more distant, I guess, than everybody else. But not like Kyle Busch. Not like Kyle Busch was. I saw it many times. He came in after hot laps and sat in the car. Would never get out.
Yeah.
Until qualifying. So just stuff like that. It just ain't cool, man. We don't need that like that.
No. Nope, that's not what we're about. If you want to be like that in NASCAR, I mean, I know we talk about NASCAR too on here, but we're at more dirt tracks, obviously, than we are NASCAR tracks, because NASCAR won't let us in the infield right now at all.
No.
Dirt tracks welcome us in. So if you want to be like that, go sit in your hauler or your motorhome or whatever you want to go sit in at the NASCAR track and leave the dirt to the guys that want to live the dirt racing life. I mean,
yep.
I'll even give Chase Elliott. Now I will say we kind of walked that way where his car was in the infield when it was there, because there wasn't no trailers parked in the infield. If y'all didn't watch or hadn't seen anything around, there was no trailers parked in the infield of Bristol. They used the entire infield for staging, and they would only let the cars in and out at certain times. Well, where Chase had his car at, we walked over there, and he was, I ain't going to say he was really hiding from everybody, but he was sitting on the pit road wall, kind of at the back of his car, kind of between that and their side-by-side, so he didn't really just jump out there and But I will say I saw quite a few people walk down pit road and said hey to him and took pictures with him, and he stood right there and signed stuff and took pictures with him. So I ain't trying to just diss and dog on Kyle Busch, but he kind of seems the odd one out. He was kind of the only guy who just didn't seem to care to do any of that.
Yeah, it definitely was. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that can change a little bit. And if he wants to stick around and do some more, then hopefully he'll kind of be more personable. And I said it the other week. I think if he changes his attitude a little bit and acts like he enjoys himself a little more and stuff, I think stuff will start happening better for him. That'd be a good step, I think, in the right direction. But
Sure enough would.
But anyway, enough of that. Loved it. Glad we were able to go. Hope they continue to do it every year. I think they learned a lot. The weather kind of screwed them up a good bit while they were there.
Well, when you're there for a week, you kind of got to expect something
right.
to happen.
Yeah, it's hard to do,
And you can't please everybody when you got that many classes there.
No, you can't. You really can't. And, we talked about it. I would like to see them separate and not have so many classes at one time to where they can allow more cars, and have it, fortunately have it to where hopefully a sanctioned series, Lucas or World of Outlaws or whatever is not running, to where they can have more cars show up for our supers. I think there was 53 supers on Friday night. Some of them left to go to the Lucas race. But, if you could separate it and maybe have two classes there at a time and run for 2 days or 3 days or whatever and then rotate or whatever, it would make it, it would make logistics easier.
Yep.
For them especially, and it would allow things to happen a little better. But it was really good. It really was, and they did a fantastic job in getting everything they did done. Unbelievable the amount of cars, like I said. For them to make it work out, they did an exceptional job.
For sure. And I want to, real fast, give a shout out to our buddy Kyle Strickler.
Yes, sir. He is the man.
I texted him yesterday, Sunday. I texted him. Let me tell you what he did first. He decided he come there earlier in the week, run the modified. And I don't know, I can't even remember. Did the modified features get moved back because of the rain? I can't even remember what the schedule was at this point.
I don't know. It changed a lot. I'm not real sure, to be honest with you.
Well, regardless, Kyle won his feature early in the week, which locked him into the big feature at the end of the week, starting on pole, actually. And, well, I saw him on Friday morning. Well, I say Friday morning, about midday Friday. Saw him riding on a golf cart, and I yelled at him, waved to him. He waved at me and yelled something back at me. And I didn't think nothing about it. Well, we got talking to our buddy Randy Keene. He's like, Kyle's supposed to be going to Brownstown to go run the Lucas race because his, the PCC guys, they kind of committed to that race, even though they're not running Lucas schedule anymore, but they had committed to that race because that was like a home track for them. Well, so come to find out, what Kyle did was he left Bristol. I don't know if he left Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, whatever he did. Went to Brownstown. Well, they got to running out there, and the track got so bad after 3 late models flipped by themselves just from hitting ruts in the track, they decided to cancel the race. So the PCC guys put Strickler on a private airplane, send him back over to Bristol. He gets there with probably an hour or so to spare. On Saturday, jumps in his modified, starts on the pole, and kills him. I mean, absolutely kills him. And then, like I was saying at the first episode, I texted him on Sunday morning and said, hey, man, I said, are you tired yet? LOL, something like that, I said, that was an awesome job last night, man. He said, I got just a little bit of sleep. He said, but I'm off again. He said, we going to, headed to Atomic now to run again. And he was running good and blew a tire in the race, so.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing him this weekend, up here at Cherokee.
Oh,
and, yeah, he gonna be firing off fast again, for sure.
For sure. So that was cool to see. A few more guys out there. Our guy we've talked to before on here, need to get him back on the show, and I keep telling him we're going to, and just can't ever line it up. Old Daniel Sanchez, old Danny. he had a good showing out there. He was running second to Strickler in the main at the first of the week, which would have locked him into the main, and he ended up running hot. Had to come in with only a few laps to go, which really sucked. He don't even, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna tell y'all real quick how the dirt racing family is out there. He don't run Earl Ramey racing engines, but he knows Earl. He knows all the guys from SRI. He's tied in with SRI. He's tied in with Randy King. So he gets to talk. Earl was there. Earl did not care whose motor it had. He was there to help anybody. And that's how the dirt racing family especially is. I mean, it's just, they want everybody to race. I've seen guys from the crew next door knowing you're going to be starting right beside them, could outrun them, but they over there working on your car trying to get you ready to go.
Exactly.
Well, so Earl goes over there, diagnoses why he's running hot. He tells him what parts he's going to need. Earl didn't happen to have those parts by no means, but he told him exactly what he would need. He got those parts in, overnighted them to him. Daniel got into LCQ, I think it was. Had to start towards eight, something deep in the field. Ends up making it to the main, and that's the thing there. Don't get me wrong. Anybody who made it to that main of any of these races is a wheel man. I mean, you are. Because there wasn't nothing easy to make there. With the many cars they had in each of those classes, it was the best of the best in those mains. So that was cool to see him. I'm not exactly sure where he finished in the main. I have to look it up. But it was just it was cool to see. A cool story from a good guy.
Yeah, definitely.
What else we got?
Well, moving to Atlanta a little bit. Speaking of Kyle Busch, he left Bristol on, I don't know if he left Friday night or when he left or what, but he left and went to run a truck race at Atlanta. And had to hurry up with that race and shoot back to Bristol. But, I guess it made it worth his while to go run the truck race.
I guess. I mean, yeah, he won. I'm going to talk junk a little bit about the promoters at Bristol. They claimed they were trying to work in the track. I said where the sun wasn't hitting it, it was still wet. I call BS because I watched them soak the track before the main on Friday night.
Right.
And they put the cars out on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were waiting.
They were waiting on Kyle Busch.
He was supposed to start in that first heat, and they ended up, I guess, not being able to wait no more, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he did not make that heat. So he ended up having to go run LCQ, and I can give it to him. He was rolling. He come up and won that heat. I mean that LCQ. So he made the race. So that was good to see for him. Whatever, but yeah, that was definitely obvious what they were waiting for.
Oh God, yes. I mean, so obvious, so obvious. How about the real quick? How about? And this is, I know we just went to NASCAR stuff, but did you see the video of the four-wheeler flipping, getting hung up behind the modified and flipping down the straightaway at Bristol?
Yes.
Fortunately, the rider had jumped off. I'm glad he did.
was not on there, thank the Lord.
Because that thing, if it didn't flip 12 times, it didn't flip none, but that thing flipped.
It tore up. I don't think it was no more good.
No. I don't know. It might have been. It might have just nailed the handlebars. I don't know how many times because it was just like in the air, just flipping.
Yeah, it sure did.
That was crazy. There was some wild stuff that happened there. I will say that there was things that happened. It's like you will never see another track, but it happens at Bristol.
Right. Exactly.
So anyway, we're moving on from that. So Kyle Busch, yep, he went and won the truck race down in Atlanta. And
not anybody surprised, really.
No, not anybody surprised. But John Hunter was back out front there for a while again. I'm glad to see him up there. I'm glad that he finally done what we've talked about for years. Right. From a fan's perspective, now probably from a money perspective, he probably took a huge loss.
Oh yeah.
But from a fan's perspective, I would much rather see him in a front-running truck than to never see him, because you don't see it on TV, running in a back marker Cup car.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely the. I think that's definitely the best way to go, and you know, I'd love to be able to run up front for sure instead of, you know, but maybe he's kind of regenerate his career that way. Maybe, hopefully so. The boy's good for sure, ain't no doubt about that. So he's in best of equipment, and he's running right there with Kyle for sure. So look to see him do a lot more this year, I think.
I think so. I think he's gonna be. Right in there for a championship, as he should be.
Yeah, definitely should be. So anyway, so that was that. Didn't really get to see much of that, but
no, we ain't gonna see much of anything other than a little bit of cup race.
Yeah, I do know he was able to take home that win and got back there and raced and whatever. But let's see, Sunday the Kyle Larson 500 or Kyle Larson 490.
Yeah, 490.
He dominated that race, but he was on a rail.
He did, and I'm gonna tell you what. And Jacqueline Rumley put it on Twitter yesterday. She put 3 little sad faces because all weekend long he was 1 spot short.
Yep.
3
second every night.
3 second place finishes. Oh, I mean, but hey, if the worst you're doing is second,
yeah, that ain't too bad.
It ain't too bad. I don't know what happened there at the end. It's like there in Bristol, because I know his driving ain't going away. We all know that. I'm not gonna say Blaney they might have made an adjustment on that last stop and got it a little bit better, which might have been all they needed. But I swear, I think at Phoenix, I'm pretty sure Phoenix, they got a bad set of tires last run. It almost looked like at Atlanta, it just didn't have quite the set of tires they needed.
Yeah, it's like that last segment there, it just fell off.
Yeah. So, but they'll get it together. I mean, it happens. I mean, I say get it together. They're dominating races and running second. I mean, woo.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to hang their head about, that's for sure. And
no.
They are all up in there, and that's got to feel good to know that they're there contending every week. And I think this week coming at Bristol, he's going to be right there doing the same thing.
Yeah, I want to look forward to that a little bit. I do want to go back real fast. The fight between Daniel Hemrick and Noah Gregson.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about it.
I don't even know who won that race, but
I don't either.
I just know there was a fight between Daniel Hemrick and Noah Gregson.
Yeah, and a lot of the people probably think bad about Noah, and some people may rightfully so think that, but
I'll give Noah this one. He didn't start this one.
No, I don't think he did, and when you watch the videos, most of the videos that's on the internet about it, they don't show what actually happened. All they show is Noah backing into Daniel Hemrick's car a little bit, and lack of a better term, scaring his pit crew. Because I mean, I'd been scared too. Somebody backing up on me. But what had actually happened was, they pitting right behind one another, right in front and behind, whatever. And Daniel Hemrick missed his pit, went up into Noah's pit. So that being the case, it made Noah miss his pit. So he had to he was all cattywampus and had to move around and back up into his pit where he could actually make his stop. And in doing that, I don't know if his spotter was telling him to back up or stop or whatever, but he was rolling backwards and was putting it in gear, and he bumped the car a little bit. I mean, it wasn't enough to knock it off a jack or anything. If it was on the jack yet, I don't even know if it was.
I don't even know, but it was barely a bump.
Right. So, that really upset Daniel Hemrick for sure, and he come and attacked him, essentially.
He tried to. I'm going to tell you what, if Noah would have connected with that first swing, Daniel Hemrick might have been picking some teeth up off the ground.
Yeah, he was coming around.
He reared back big. He went from Atlanta to Port Wentworth over there with that. Yeah, with that rear back he had, and it de-escalated quickly. I didn't saw Noah still get a few licks in on him. But they can't. Fortunately, NASCAR came back and said no, Noah didn't do anything wrong. He was just trying to get in his spot. So, no penalties.
Well, I think that's accurate. I think that's the best way to do it. A lot of people don't agree and stuff, but I think that's in that case. Now, when I first saw it, I saw the whole video, I kind of thought the same thing. I thought he would get penalized, and I thought that was good.
Oh, I said when I first saw the video, I was like, oh, he'll have a week suspension probably.
Right. But,
and then I saw the whole video, and I was like, oh, he didn't do anything wrong.
Right. So, I'm glad they made that decision. I think that was fair and good. Good call for sure by NASCAR to do that. So, but yeah, that was that. I didn't see who won. Don't know. I hate that, but we were
busy.
We were kind of busy, pretty much for that. So, but anyway,
we were at a wedding and watching Bristol.
yeah, we were multitasking. But anyway, moving forward here a little bit, like we said, Cherokee this week, what's it called, the Rock Galt Memorial, yep. I think it is, or
that's it,
or something. Big money, really big money, biggest that as far as I know, the biggest payout that they've ever had for a super late model race, in the history of Cherokee.
That's it.
They are having open practice for all the teams that show up on Thursday. Friday they having all their classes, I believe, or most of the classes, and having 2 super features, paying $5,000 to win both. I don't know if that's gonna, you win that gets you guarantees you into the main for Saturday. I don't know any of that, but I do know that if anybody's listening and wants to see a pile of super late models and a good race, make your way to Cherokee come Saturday, for sure. Friday and Saturday. We're going to be there Saturday, rooting on Scott and Chris and Kyle and all of our other buddies up there. But definitely go check it out. It's going to be a good show, and the Lucas Tour is off this week. So I'd look to see a big turnout of late models.
Especially for that kind of money.
Yeah, definitely.
At least the ones that ain't fixing their cars from Bristol still, but
yeah.
Yeah, there ought to be a good crowd there come Saturday. Well, Friday and Saturday. That's gonna be a cool show to watch for sure. Also, obviously, we were just talking about NASCAR and Bristol. Cup car trucks and Cup are gonna be at Bristol. That's I'm
looking forward to that. I will say I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen. 250 laps. Woo.
Yeah, for Cup it's gonna be 250 laps at Bristol. I'm back and forth on that because they're gonna run heat races too. Obviously, they're probably gonna work the track just like they did this past week between heats and B mains and the main, because they're actually kind of running a dirt format with passing points and stuff like that. I don't know, and me and Sterling have talked about this, and I don't know yet. And I've tried to look it up. So if any of y'all know, message us and let us know. I know they're running heats and having passing points and stuff like that.
Well, you
got some information?
You like the breaking news kind of thing?
What
we can kind of talk about?
As
As we're looking that up and talking about it, I just saw where NASCAR put it out that there's going to be 39 Cup entries on the list for this weekend at Bristol on dirt. And it's confirmed now that all 39 will start.
Oh, okay.
So that can kind of take the charter system out of play now.
For this week. It's okay to not have a charter system on dirt.
Right. But all I can say is I want to see 39 cars on that racetrack.
Well, they used to have 40. I mean, they used to have 43.
Well, I know, but on dirt.
But on asphalt. That's what I was going to say, but that was on concrete.
On
dirt, that's going to be interesting.
Because 25,
26 laps.
26 super late models is a crowd on there.
Yeah, especially once they start lapping cars.
That's going to be interesting. That's going to be something everybody needs to watch for sure.
Like I said, though, I'm split on how it's going to work. If they start off with the track good and wet, then they ain't going to be able to see because they're going to throw mud up everywhere. And mud on windshields don't work.
No.
If they start out with it dry, by the end of it, that sun gun's going to be blacker than it normally is.
Yes. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. That's going to be very, very interesting how that track's going to hold up. And the cars. I don't know how the cars are going to hold up either.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see if they have a right front issue also. But they're not going to be turning the times around there like I don't think they're going to turn times around there like super late models are. I really don't.
No, I don't think they are.
I know on iRacing they're faster. I have figured that out.
I don't foresee that being at all the case. I'd be very surprised if them cars stay together in 250 laps there.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is I think if they start the way I think it's going to be, it's kind of just going to be a damp track probably. By about lap 50 or less, that track's going to be black, slicked off and black. And they're going to start putting down rubber on it. And it's going to be about like running an asphalt track.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's going to really serve the purpose that they're intending.
I don't know. I guess they got it figured out somehow or another, and it'll be interesting to see how it all works out for sure. But definitely everybody tune into that as well. It's going to be Sunday during the day. I don't know exactly when everything starts, but definitely tune into that and check it out. And this may be the start of something that's going to stick around a while. Kind of like Scott said, it started on dirt. He predicted to go back to dirt, and this is a good start of that.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of going to be the same deal. This is pretty wild. It's going to be wild. I think the truck race is going to be real wild. There's some heavy hitters in truck and cup. I think Stuart Friesen. I think Jessica Friesen. Mike Marlar. Who else is in there? Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I know. Well, as far as the trucks go, yeah. I mean, I know Martin Truex. I think is going to run.
Yeah, but he's not a dirt guy. I'm just. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
he's
you're
going,
saying,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying the real dirt folk that's going to be in there. I'm trying to remember who it was. Sprint car guy. There's going to be a sprint car guy running one too. He's running a cup car, I think.
Wow.
I can't remember. It's going to be. I'm going to tell you. I could definitely see us next week talking about Mike Marlar winning his first cup race.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a one that's up there because he knows what he's doing on dirt.
Yeah, he definitely does. So, a lot to look forward to this week coming. We got like we said, it's ramping up. So. Weather's getting nice. Everybody get out. I think this weekend at Gaffney's going to be around 75 degrees. Partly cloudy. So if you're around the Gaffney area, get on up Cherokee. You won't be disappointed.
For sure. If you over here around the Society Hill area, which we're actually going to swing by first, as far as we know. Got GNCC race going on over at Camp Coker. Our boys with BS Racing. And their quad gonna be there, so
it's gonna be a good show.
If you want some get your GNCC feel, head over to Camp Coker here in Society Hill, South Carolina. Oh, what else we got?
Man, I think that's it, man. That's a humongous show, and it's gonna be hard to top it.
It definitely is. As always, like we say on here every week, guys, want to thank our buddies at SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Draco Springs, as always, for helping us out. Our buddy Randy Keene, who's over at SRI, y'all seen him on our live over the weekend. If you hadn't looked at none of our live feeds from Bristol, go back and check them out. There were some good good stuff on there. We had G.R. Smith on there. We had Joey Coulter on there. Talked to Chris Ferguson, obviously. Talked to him a couple times.
Brandon
Overton. Bobby Pierce.
Yep.
We just walked around and pointed a microphone at people, and they come and talk to us.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We appreciate it. We appreciate them for sure.
So y'all go check them out. It was pretty cool to see all that. But yeah, Randy King was on there telling us, about all that was going on there with SRI, and that man is in the know. I'm gonna tell you. Couldn't ever get Earl Ramey to get on there with us, but we want to thank Earl Ramey as always, helping us out. Oh yeah, guys, I want to say one thing real fast. If you have not seen it yet, go check out our new website. We got us a website up and going finally.
How did we forget that?
I don't know. Well, because we ain't. It literally just came up. www.chickenbonealleypodcast.com. Pretty simple. It's kind of long, but it's simple.
Well, once you get it one time, then it'll be there. And you
yeah, that's all you got to do. When you get in there, make it a favorite, or if you're doing it on your phone, save it to your homepage. And all you got to do is click on it, and you can go right to chickenbonealleypodcast.com, and it'll have all the new episodes. Every episode is on there, and all the new ones will be on there every week. Go save our page. Check it out. We like it. We're going to be doing a lot more on it. Like I said, it is literally just getting started, so it's still in the developmental part of it, but it's got links on there to, right now, I know it's got SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel, Draco Springs, and also our buddies at Forward Bite. Speaking of Forward Bite, y'all need to go on Forward Bite Apparel's webpage right now, and you can go to our website and get it, because Coltrane got a new t-shirt out. Cole Vanderheyden, new t-shirt, and guess who's on it along with all his other sponsors? Chicken Bone Alley.
Sweet.
Coltrane Vanderheyden.
It's an awesome shirt too. I like it. It looks good.
It is nice. Put in our order for some yesterday, so we got some on the way. I do want to bring up something real quick. I know this is kind of late in the podcast. Our buddy Cale Maben.
Man, that's terrible luck.
He caught a tough break over the weekend. They had a practice up at Brush Creek. He went out there, and all of a sudden, the car blows the motor. And when it blew the motor, what did it do? It caught on fire.
Yeah, it killed it, man. I hate it. Great day. I hate that. They just got the car back together. I think they said they worked at 1 or 2 or 3 or something, 4 o'clock in the morning the night before, trying to get it pinned up, boxed up where they could run. That's terrible.
I do have a little bit of news about that, though.
What happened?
He got him another car already.
He does.
Ready to go. Ready to ride.
Ready to ride. That's what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
With new FZ09 motor in it.
Sweet. I love it. That's great for him. Well, things happen for a reason. And, sometimes we can't always see what that reason's for. Sometimes we don't understand why that reason's for. But I'm sure at the time he did not foresee that happening. But glad it worked out for him. He was safe and okay and able to get out of there. And he's got him a new piece ready to go.
That's it. So, ready to see Kale on the track. Their seasoning's open up here real soon. Yeah, all them boys up there. Also, like I said, I want to y'all go check out Checkered, new social media. There is a link to Checkered on our website. You can go from your phone or from a computer. It is full social media. They just brought out Checkered 2.0, all new, redesigned. Looks great. Very easy to navigate, and we talk about racing on there all the time. All racing all the time. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all you need. So y'all go get on Checkered. You ain't got to hear no other BS on nothing else. You just go to Checkered and talk racing. Oh, and then there's RMAX Solutions. any of you guys in the fab industry, you need parts for your machines that you use for that fab work. Anything you need, go check out RMAX Solutions. They can hook you up. They handle multiple brands of machines. Everything you might need, leads, in replacement cords, anything, spools, anything you might need, tables, whatever. So y'all go check them out. And I think that's about it. What you think?
I think so, man. It was a great show again. Sure to appreciate Scott and Mackie coming on and hanging out with us, and definitely go check out Wings Etc. Man, it's gonna be his store's gonna be coming soon, and there's one up in the Spartanburg area.
Bowling Springs, yep.
So definitely go check it out. Awesome place to be able to watch some good racing there, and like you said, having the pay-per-view stuff. If you don't want to subscribe and buy it yourself, go over and eat some good food and watch some good racing.
And who knows, when there ain't a race on or some other race on, Scott Bloomquist might be in there.
You don't never know.
Making a chicken sandwich.
He might be hooking us up, have the special. But no, like I said, thank them so much for coming on, and we wish Scott the best of luck this weekend, and we'll be hanging out with him, and rooting him on, man. Maybe we'll be in Victory Lane with him, I hope.
I sure hope so. And so anyway, guys, y'all be looking out, because we will most likely definitely have some lives coming out over the weekend. Checking out, we'll have some videos coming up, hopefully, and I guess we'll be talking to y'all next week.
Later.